So I got a chance earlier tonight to have a discussion with Professor Corey Anton on Skype. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll link you guys to it. Um, and we didn't get to record this time, but the next couple of weeks we're going to try to do that and talk about issues we haven't really decided upon yet. But one of the things we discussed today was YouTube as a medium for human communication, as a technology that allows us to exchange information or speak a language with one another in really an unprecedented way. It's been around for a few years now. I've been on it myself for about 2.5 years. Um, and still to this day I don't fully understand what it is that I'm doing. And Corey said something interesting, that what strikes him about YouTube is the way that it is timeless. In the sense that me, for example, I have videos recorded 2 years ago that are still about topics we continue to talk about today. And so this old material gets drawn up because it is still relevant, and perhaps even more relevant to what's going on, what's being recorded now. And for me personally to think about this, I don't ever watch my own videos, or very rarely, uh, and I haven't watched any of my old videos since I made them, really. So if I were to go back and actually watch them, I would probably be just as surprised by what I said as most of you. So this timeless aspect of YouTube, though, it's interesting because the videos in real life, they're made in a particular place at a particular time by a particular person in a certain situation. And how much of that situation gets lost when what the consumer of the media sees is only this image on a screen that can be played at any time and in any place for any number of different people in different situations in their lives. So the you that is tubing isn't necessarily well defined, in the sense that there's both history is being made on YouTube, in the sense that people are communicating with one another in a completely new way. But in another sense, something eternal is taking place. Each of us, when we record these videos, at least me, I'll speak from my personal experience. It's as though I'm talking to, to God in a certain way. No, individual person in particular, but in fact, to the person. I could say I'm talking to the superego, our shared understanding, or my understanding of society as an other, which is also something we share as beings in a world with one another. We share this sense of being toward a being, and we don't have to call it God. We can just call it language. The fact that we have a set of signifiers capable of creating meaning. Whatever this set of signifiers is, it may as well be divine, because it allows us to appear, to step outside of ourselves, of our own nature, to see a nature independent, to represent a world rather than be it and become it. And representation, I think, is a certain way of understanding what it means to be a human being, sharing information with others in a world. It's a view that I've criticized a lot in some of my videos, but that I wouldn't want to completely dismiss. It's just a matter of what we mean by representation. Really, if what we mean is sort of an artist's depiction of an event, then sure, that's what human consciousness is doing. It's artistically expressing that which it experiences. We are artistic creatures. We create ourselves, in fact. So the artist is a piece of artwork. Uh, that artwork being the working itself, the working out of an idea. Um, and I think the reason I really like YouTube is because, being that I am talking to God, it makes it that much easier to work out those ideas which really matter, because only God has ears for the ideas that really matter. You know, people, when they talk to each other normally on the streets, face to face, you know, we would want to cherish these experiences, and sometimes we do, and we should attempt to do that as often, if not all the time, as often as we can, if not all the time. But when we really do talk to people face to face, it's difficult to talk to God together. It's much easier to do it alone. People like to gossip when they're, you know, right in front of one another. They want to talk about anything but what's there. You know, and when you do talk about what's there as individuals face to face, it can become very intimate. And, you know, the relationships we have where we actually are able to talk about what matters with others face to face are those that we cherish most, right? I think YouTube presents us with the opportunity, at least the opportunity, um, to bring that sort of intimacy with the world itself more to our attention, because it's easier uh, to be in the world this way when you're recording yourself, such that your passion can be made timeless for others who don't have to worry about um, the implications or the responsibilities of doing it face to face. Though that's what ultimately the whole point is, right? YouTube is sort of like training wheels, I suppose.